Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
As mentioned in our previous segment, all of today's guests are brought to you by the Vancouver Giants. Legends Weekend, LEC Friday. They celebrate Legends of the Sin Bin. Marty McSorley is going to be there. Archie Henderson, Goldie Goldthorpe. Pre-game hot stove in the LEC Banquet Hall at 6. Giants Kamloops at 7 on Saturday. Giants take on Portland and celebrate West Coast hockey legends, including Richard Bender puck drop, again at 7. Head to VancouverGiants.com to get tickets for those games. Teddy Bear Toss game December 14th against Victoria. Canucks Islanders tonight, Rogers Arena, and we're joined now by Stefen Rosner, Islanders beat writer for NHL.com and the Hockey News. He's been on the show a couple of times before. We love having him. Stefen, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me back on. Really do appreciate it.
6-6-4 so far from the Islanders. They're 3-1-2 in their last 6. We know there's been some injury issues. How would you describe their season so far?
It's been a roller coaster for sure. I mean, right now they're missing 2/3 of their top line. Matthew Barzal and Anthony Duclair both out 4 to 6 weeks. And they're also missing the entire left side of their defense with Adam Pelech out 4 to 6 weeks, Alexander Romanov day-to-day, and Mike Riley out indefinitely. But with all the injuries, this is an Islanders team that we thought would be much improved under Patrick Roy, especially with holding down leads, which was an issue last year in their special teams. Unfortunately, this year, holding leads has been an issue. Their power play and penalty kill have struggled. But because it's the Metropolitan Division, because it's the Eastern Conference, the wild card race is wide open, and the Islanders are right there.
Yeah, you mentioned, and we'll get to Bo Horvat in a second as he returns to Vancouver again. We'll talk about him in a bit here, but you mentioned Patrick Roy there. What does he like to deal with? We all know about Patrick's personality, and does he seem to be enjoying himself?
Yes, he knows the game well. I mean, you guys could probably tell that, but with answers, he gives us so much information. He rambles off stats after games with possession times, things like that. So he's been great. He's been honest, too, about injuries, about timelines, about what he sees in certain players. If he doesn't like what he sees, he hasn't held back at all, which we appreciate. So it's been a lot of fun getting to cover him. Unfortunately, I'm a little too young to have watched him play, but this has definitely been a treat.
What about Bo Horvat, Stefen? How has he been this year? I know he's second in team in scoring. Kyle Palmieri leads the way, but Bo's right behind him. How's his play been this year?
Yeah, I think early on this season, he struggled to score. If you asked him, he said he probably could have had a couple. He wasn't burying his chances. But so far, since everyone got hurt, really in that November 1st game against Buffalo, when 3 defensemen went down, as Barzal going down the game prior, he's really stepped it up. Like you said, 5 goals, 7 assists in 12 games. Now he's playing alongside Anders Lee and Jean-Gabriel Pageau, 2 players that probably aren't viewed as top-line players or even top 6 players in this league. But they have gelled, and he's led on and off the ice. He's wearing an A this year, obviously wore the C in Vancouver. But he's been great. He's been picking up the slack for the injured people right now, and he's a big reason why the Islanders are still hovering.
Well, you're covering a team that's one of the lowest scoring teams in the NHL. It doesn't help when Barzal's out. Can you give us a time frame? First of all, what happened to Matt? And second of all, how long is he out?
Yeah, so they never told us exactly what the injury is. That's part of Lou Lamoriello and what he does, but he seemed to get hurt on a hit against the Blue Jackets a game prior. I think that was October 30th, and he finished the game. Looks like it's definitely an upper body injury. Not sure exactly what it is, but it was given a 4 to 6 week timeline to the point where they sent him home on a road trip to get viewed by team doctors. We haven't seen him skate. We don't believe he's skating on his own. So they said 4 to 6 weeks. I wouldn't be shocked if it is longer, but yeah, it's a huge loss for the Islanders.
What about, hey, look at the Devils and the Rangers off to a good start. Do you see Lou Lamoriello shaking and baking, Stefen, towards the deadline, or do you see him, do they have enough draft picks and prospects to make some moves?
I don't think they have enough prospects to make some moves, but Lou hasn't been shy to trade away his first or second round draft picks. I think for the Islanders, they have players that they could certainly sell off, pending UFAs and Brock Nelson and Kyle Palmieri, the 2 that stand out here. But if the Islanders are close, guys, Lou is probably going to buy. He's done it every year. The Islanders have been close to a playoff spot. Usually trades for, a player that can help short term, and long term, like Bo Horvat. So I wouldn't be shocked if the Islanders are still hovering around a wild card spot or creeping up to third in the Metro, that Lou goes and buys.
Hey, you mentioned Lou Lamoriello, or at least Rick did, and yourself. He's 82 years old. Does he ever consider retirement, Stefen, from what you know?
Yeah.
I was going to say, if he was thinking about retiring, we wouldn't know. It would be something that comes out of the blue. We think, if the Islanders miss the playoffs, maybe it's time. But at the same time, he seems happy, ready to go, continuing to do his job. He talks a lot. Contrary to popular belief, he's always available to talk. And he doesn't seem like he's slowing down at all. So I wouldn't be shocked if he has a couple of years left.
As somebody who covers the Islanders on a regular basis, are you allowed to sport facial hair or long hair with Lou around?
Yes, we can. I unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, take your side. I have a hard time growing facial hair, so it's definitely not a problem for me. But no, we as people that don't work for the team are definitely allowed to do it. I'm not sure what he says behind closed doors about us having the long facial hair if we do rock it, but yes, we are definitely allowed.
Yeah, I wonder how Lou would do in the 70s. Hey, before we let you go, Noah Dobson and Matt Barzal, do you expect, and this is looking ahead a bit, Stefen, but do you expect one or both of them to be on Team Canada for the Four Nations Cup?
Yeah, we'll see. Again, injuries are going to play a huge part in Barzal. I think if we're leading towards one of them playing, I think it's going to be Noah Dobson. He has struggled this year, just 6 assists in 16 games, but we know how talented this kid could be, especially offensively. So I think he has definitely a strong shot of being part of that bottom pair for Team Canada.
Stefen, above and beyond, as always, enjoy your time in Vancouver, and we'll get you back on the show soon.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a great one.
Thank you.